In addition, there was a recent conversation I saw in email between, I think, the mayor and Councilmember Snyder about the separate strategic plans, and the mayor wanting to make it clear that I don't know, that we need to have separate plans. And I guess I wanted to say one more time that we have worked very hard to make our plan in line with the executive branch's plan. Our themes align very well, our objectives align where it can. And so I think we've tried to do that, but I personally would love for the charter to be changed so that we would have one plan, because I think that makes the best sense as a vision for our city. And one last thing, and just kind of looking over the plan a month later as we're moving forward in the year, there are now maybe even just a couple things that we might want to readdress. There's mention, of course, a comprehensive plan starting, and that may or may not occur, so I'm not sure if we want it in here. There's also something about charter changes being looked at for next year, and now we're looking maybe at this year. I'm not sure, maybe we can keep both. But I don't know when we need to get this done, but it may be good to look at it one more time.
We certainly can. Our original plan was to convey the strategic plan to the mayor for consideration in the development of the budget process by the end of this month. So we are on track to introduce it and adopt it by resolution at our next meeting on the 27th. I did also, too late for this published agenda packet, I got a couple of pieces of feedback from Brett after discussions in the mayor's office. Pretty minor, and may or may not be something that council wants to address. But if there are some other small pieces, okay, we could certainly do that. We would want to get them resolved by the end of this week.
Do you think we would have any time tomorrow during our lunch meeting to just kind of at least hear the
yes,
things that's coming from the executive branch, and maybe council could look at it just one last time? And I mean, it's fine to leave it as it is, but yep, it has been a month or so.
We sure could. And then I would also add that I distributed the mayor's strategic plan, the 14-18 strategic plan, with some requests for some comments from you all, if there's any feedback, to provide the mayor, so we could potentially kind of discuss both of those items.
Okay, sounds good.
It sounds good. If I get it, we might have some other feedback as well, so we're happy to give that to you. So thanks.
Will you be with us tomorrow at lunchtime?
Or I'll give it to you verbally.
Okay.
In an email. Thank you.
You can attend our meeting. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any comments, Councilmember Miller?
So just for clarification, if we have additional recommendations, do you want us to send them to Councilmember Gabler or to you, or?
Probably to both, or to all of council
okay,
would work as well, and then we can kind of help consolidate some of them.
Thanks.
Is there any of it that we want to discuss here this afternoon?
Well, I didn't know if that was the intent or not.
Sure. Yeah, it's a work session opportunity for you all to discuss
okay,
if it's something that would be appropriate here.
Yeah,
I don't want to usurp the president's position here. But.
Sure.
I just had some minor things. I have a little trouble with the encourage responsible and innovative land use. I don't know if it's semantics on that, but again, to me, that's not really our role unless it's city-owned property. And then the specific priority on West Colorado economic opportunity zones in downtown, I think I'd rather have a general job creation policies and end it there. And then under the objective of sound financial stewardship, there's really no discussion of not preparation of the budget, but I guess preparation of the budget ordinance and how we go about that. So I don't know if that's something that could be added as a measurable outcome or not. And then the only other thing I had was the citizen engagement. I think that we can promote citizen engagement. I think the council engagement program is great. We can measure that, but I think there's also other ways that we can do that.
So could you go through those boxes, several boxes you talked about? You talked about the first one was under economic growth, encouraging responsible and innovative land use. Was there, I see the one on West Colorado Avenue. Which other ones were the ones?
Under responsible government, the orange section.
And there was,
I agree with the exercise sound financial stewardship. But I
Maureen?
just didn't see under that specific objective, I didn't see a measurable outcome related to the budget ordinance. I guess that's obvious enough that that's our annual duty. Maybe it's not needed, but I just thought it would be something that's measurable, because if at the end of 2014 we have a budget, that's something that we can measure. And then the last one was in the blue section, under increased citizen outreach, engagement in local government. I think there's some other ways. Let's see, it's sort of attached right now to promoting citizen engagement. The only measurement it's showing for that is to document the impact of engagement programs. So basically that means the only way that we can measure increased engagement is documenting whether or not the city council engagement program was involved. And I think there's other ways that we could do that. So probably for
Okay,
some thought.
okay.
But other than that, I appreciate Councilmember Gabler's hard work on this and trying to schedule all of us and get input from everybody. It's a big job.
Okay, so why don't we, if we can think about those suggestions, and we can come back tomorrow maybe and have some discussion about them, and that way we can maybe fill it out and do whatever we want to tomorrow, so.
President King, if I could add just one comment, just one note on the plan that we're noting is that there's discussion or notations on regional partnerships and not a lot on executive branch partnerships, and so that's something we'd encourage in the plan. And then we'll also be happy to attend if we're welcome, the new meeting tomorrow, so.
And that would go under partnerships, would go under responsible government, is that what you're talking about?
Well, I'm noting, for instance, on responsible government engaged in regional partnerships, and I think a couple references to regionalism, and we'd encourage some partnerships with the executive branch noted in the plan.
Is that official?
That's official.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, good. Councilmember Knight.
Just on the, I mean, we're making a lot of changes here after a lot of long, hard work. No matter what plan we finally decide, you know, as Clausewitz says, you know, no plan survives the first contact with battle. It's going to be, you know, events are going to change, and things that we hope to do this year are going to be slipped out and everything else. So, as one of my old bosses said, perfection is the evil of good. And so I think it's important that we do stick to our end of month deadline. And so I ask that we follow Eileen's request and make Friday the good idea cutoff date and get this thing to press and approved on the 27th.
Okay, good suggestion. Okay, any other comments? Okay, great.